New on Curiosity Stream. She was a loving wife, a devoted mother. She also stole atomic secrets and gave them to the Soviets. Meet the woman whose deception kick-started the Cold War on the spy who stole the atom bomb. And
what if they catch you?
Then I shall be shot.
They're coming! Come back!
relive history's most death-defying escapes. It's Impossible Escapes, Civil War. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
What's up? It's your boy, The Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. Hey! So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. Before we get to the shot, just a quick personal note. That is a really stupid song. I'm just thinking, other than shot of the day, when would I ever just listen to that song?
Sammy Hagar?
Yeah, I mean, all he says is Mas Tequila, right?
Oh, he says 3 shots. Hey.
And then that's it.
Oh, there's more to the song.
Okay.
We just play the hook.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a lousy song. Anyway,
I listen to it in his bar.
Well, if I'm at a bar, I'll listen to whatever you put on. I mean, come on, I'm at a bar.
You're not leaving.
That's exactly it.
Play the worst crap possible.
It's fine. I'm just going to sit there and get drunk. Sammy, play one of your tunes. So today...
You're
right. Yeah.
I'd sit in a bar that had karaoke just to drink.
I've done it.
Oh,
and the only reason you... Could you imagine
There's no more hell on earth, but I would go now.
If a karaoke bar did not have booze, I'm saying they would close in a day.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Today we toast Mr. Yuri Andrade, or however the hell you say his name. And I don't know where he's from. It doesn't matter. Yuri made himself known to the general public this past Sunday during the Super Bowl. He's the guy that streaked the field in the pink leotard and the G-string bikini. And as you may or may not know, security eventually caught him when he took a dive at the goal line. Yeah, he was arrested. He was detained for about 8 hours, let out on $500 bond. He said a couple of things you might not know. When the cops arrested him, since he's wearing the G-string bottom, they made it a point to handcuff him before he could adjust himself. So that when he paraded through the stadium, I believe he was hanging brain a bit. Oh. Also, in the 8 hours that he was in custody, so the cops legitimately did not care, found it very funny. They just had to arrest him because that's their job. But he said, man, they were actually awesome. But I'm toasting this guy for his sheer genius, because you need to understand something. This guy, Yuri, he put money down on a prop bet for Super Bowl 55, and this specific bet was whether or not someone would streak during the game. So he said, you know what? I think someone will streak during the game. And he bet that someone would. And then he was that someone, and he earned himself. So keep in mind, this guy interrupts the Super Bowl, runs on the field as a streaker. People either didn't care or whatever the case. He made $375,000.
Covered the Super Bowl ticket, covered the cost of transportation, covered the hotel room, covered the jail fines, covered all of it.
Now, the problem is, now that everyone is hip to this, I get the feeling every Super Bowl, either the odds are going to go way, way down for the prop bet of a streaker, because you realize this guy goes... It's worth getting arrested. You're not going to jail forever.
Does he collect before he makes the announcement of what he did?
He already made, so he hasn't, I don't believe he collected the money yet, but the money is there for him to get because that was the bet. And look, if you went to the Vegas odds things and you bet on that, well, then you hit too, but thank this guy for doing it. The whole thing is, he was like, I already have the ticket to the Super Bowl. I'm going to look at the prop bets. This is about whether or not someone streaks. I'm going to streak. So yeah, $375,000. Wow. That's how you beat the house.
That bet's gone.
That is great.
They'll never make that bet again.
No, I don't know if they'll do anything with fans again, because any fans are going to drop a bunch of cash and then do the thing that people are predicting you won't, right? But in the meantime, sheer genius.
Toast that guy.
My hat's off to this guy, yeah. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola, bichola!
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
Hey, Stephen Throw Hogan to Police, everyone. Now, Profile This is played.
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story. Something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Anthony. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Happy 5-0, big Bicholas.
Oh, thank you. Hola. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right, Anthony, you understand how this here game is played?
Yes, I do.
Fantastic. You have your choice of one of three stories. We have the wonderful world of drugs. We have Bite Me. In other words, what did someone find in their food? And finally, interior decorating, where you guess the foreign object that ended up on the inside of someone.
Let's go with interior decorating.
Okay. All right, here it is, interior decorating. We go to Waco, Texas, where police there say they removed something unusual from a woman's vagina during a cavity search. Officers stopped a Toyota SUV for a traffic violation, and they found 29.5 grams of methamphetamine concealed under the driver's seat. A man and a woman that were inside of the vehicle, they were also arrested. Police said that while 31-year-old Ashley Cecilia Castaneda was being taken to the county jail, she told an officer that she had a little something special on the inside of her vagina. Well, they immediately called for a female officer who did, in fact, retrieve what she said would be there. She was charged with possession of meth in a drug-free zone, and 30-year-old Gabriel Garcia faces the same drug charge. Now, both are in custody in lieu of bond, not immediately clear if they had attorneys, et cetera, et cetera. The question is, what did this lady have in her south mouth? Was it more meth, a glass pipe, a gun, or cash? So meth, a pipe, gun, or cash, one of these was on the inside of her.
So they already found methamphetamine in their car. Is that right?
They found meth in the car, right? After she was arrested, she came clean and said, listen, before we get there, you should know I have something in my vagina.
I mean, there's obviously like two choices, the more meth or the glass pipe. Is there any other way to smoke meth without the glass pipe?
I don't know about that. But
I think, depending on the quality of your meth, you could probably snort some.
Oh, we had a guy that called, yesterday or last week?
Yeah, he said he thought he was doing something else.
He thought he was doing cocaine. It ended up being meth.
Look, you're not supposed to take any of this stuff into jail, obviously. Right. Here's my theory on this. All right? They've already been busted for meth. Maybe that's where she keeps it, but whatever. So they already know they've got that. So maybe that's why she admitted, oh, by the way, there's more meth there. But you take a glass pipe in. I doubt they're doing a cavity search if you're just going to jail like that, if you're just spending the night. Maybe they do. Don't know. Cash doesn't seem to be that big of a deal. I'm going to say, Anthony, the reason she told the cops is because she had a gun.
I love gun.
I'm going gun, Anthony, because it seems ridiculous. But if you're going to go to jail and you have a weapon on you, you probably want to tell the arresting officer.
Yeah, but won't that extend her sentence?
Well, she's already getting busted for meth. So it's a matter of how much.
29.5 grams.
Yeah, that's a lot. Ted?
I mean, I always pick gun just because I like the idea of them hiding it up there. Mm-hmm. But just to be different, let's say she's got a plain old glass pipe.
Glass pipe, says Ted.
Hey, she could have cash, though. It's jail. She might not want to eat the food. I'm going pipe.
Pipe? Anthony, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm going with that glass pipe. Final answer.
Glass pipe, along with Ted. Okay, we're going to find out what you had up there. Was it meth, a glass pipe, a gun, or cash next?
That was a tease.
New on Curiosity Stream.
Just because it hasn't been done before doesn't mean you can't.
Watch Earth's greatest minds forge our path to a better tomorrow. It's engineering the future. And Jaws, Star Wars, The Godfather, E.T. The biggest movies have even bigger music. From King Kong to The Dark Knight. See how musicians scored Hollywood's greatest hits on great film composers' music of the movies. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit CuriosityStream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Hey, all of Macholas, thank you so much for listening to the Men's Room Podcast.
And thanks to our pals at the Advocates Law Firm for being great partners. Yes, even you, creepy Kyle.
Seriously, though, if you'd been injured as a result of somebody else in your car, on your bike, walking across the street, talk to our friends at the Advocates Law Firm and let them help you out.
Yeah, they're the best injury lawyers around, and they want to make sure that you're not taken advantage of. Plus, your first consultation is free.
It's simple. You get injured, the advocates get results. Contact them today at advocateslaw.com.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
All right, the category interior decorating on Profile. This Texas woman had something that she put in Whoville during a traffic stop. Told officers it was up there, and they brought in a female officer, and she pulled it out. The question was, she already had meth on her, so they're wondering what else was up inside her. Was it meth, a glass pipe, a gun, or cash?
And Anthony, that is the very question that we posed to you. Now, you and the Ted Smith both agreed glass pipe. Anthony, I'm sorry to say she did not have a glass pipe in her vagina.
That was my head.
Down for that.
My heart was with Miles and the gun.
And Miles, you went with the gun. Yes! Ted, you always want a gun in the vagina.
I always want a gun in there.
There was a gun.
I know, but Miles took it first. I'd pick something different.
And then this one time you go different. Yeah, she had a gun up there. And you're right. Basically, she was like, look, I know I'm getting busted for meth. Before you guys freak out, I should let you know there's a gun in my vagina.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm always going to go gun in there and semen in the food.
Can I ask a question?
What up, man?
Do you think it goes in barrel first or handle first?
Barrel first, so you can grab it quicker.
I agree.
Well, barrel
it just
first
seems so dangerous.
Oh, right, so the handle's at the bottom.
All right.
I know, man. I don't have a vagina.
Discharge it. You know what I'm saying? It's going to shoot you up in the stomach, where if it's going the other way, there's a chance of survival, right? I'm just saying.
I mean, I understand what you're doing, but
I'm
still
trying to
safety.
think, is there an intelligent way of doing this?
Yeah, put the safety on, barrel first.
All right, okay. Now for all TV news all the time, it is time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box,
Armageddon.
The Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
No, there's no intelligent way. You're putting the gun up there.
That's true.
I mean, a smarter way. How's that?
A better way.
A better way.
All right. Your choices today will be the Jimmys,
Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel.
Seth Meyers, or Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
It is right there in the title. All these guys have teams of professional writers that come up with the monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joke and from whom? Or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
In Russia, they're offering free ice cream as an incentive to get the COVID-19 vaccine. Because, yeah, that's what everyone in Russia wants in February. Ice cream.
Jimmy Fallon.
Ted Smith.
Jimmy Fallon.
Get this, I heard that in Russia they're offering free ice cream as an incentive to get a COVID-19 vaccine. Yeah, that's what everyone in Russia wants in February. Ice cream.
It is not poisonous.
I don't know why I feel like I don't know. What's the dominant flavor in Russia? Vanilla or chocolate?
Oh, I don't know.
I would say vodka. I don't know.
Probably chocolate. I feel like white people always go chocolate and black people like vanilla.
Huh. I wonder what that is.
I'm a fan of vanilla.
I like vanilla too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not that I like chocolate. Just not chocolate ice cream so much.
I'm sitting right here. I see what you guys
I feel like
got.
the older you get, the less chocolate I am. The less I like chocolate. Producers have announced the new action movie that'll star rapper Lil Yachty. And it's based on the card game Uno, which is also how many tickets the movie will sell. Uno ticket, please.
Seth Meyers.
Jimmy Fallon.
Seth Meyers.
Producers have announced a new action heist movie which will star rapper Lil Yachty and is based on the card game Uno, which is also how many tickets the movie will sell. Uno ticket, please.
Some news from around the world. In France, it is now legal to eat at your desk, which is during work, which is bad for the restaurants, but is a big win for brown bags.
Beats that smart.
Yeah, that was me. Still think about Little Yachty. Broccoli.
It's based on Uno. Okay.
Well, how's it an action movie based on Uno?
What if it was great?
Did you ever see Clue, the movie?
No.
You ever see Battleship?
No. They made a movie about Battleship?
Yeah, it was as good as you think it was.
Okay. Did someone say you sunk my battleship at the end?
I don't believe
Sunk?
it.
Yeah.
Your girl Rihanna's in it, though.
Oh, really? I'll watch.
I know.
That's cool.
All they made a movie of it. That's Rihanna's. Okay.
In honor of Valentine's Day, the home improvement store Lowe's will be offering a special after-hours in-store experience for couples in select cities. It's the perfect spot for Valentine's Day if you want sex to be a do-it-yourself project.
Fallon.
Myers.
Seth Meyers.
In honor of Valentine's Day, the home improvement store Lowe's will offer a special after-hours in-store experience for couples in select cities. It's the perfect spot for Valentine's Day if you want sex to be a do-it-yourself project.
And I don't do enough projects to want to be locked in a Lowe's. I still say that the fantasy is being locked in a 7-Eleven.
Yeah. You want 7-Eleven. I want Guitar Center.
I think we go to 7-Eleven too much.
Right.
Because there's no fantasy there.
Well, no, you're not locked in with the customers. That
No,
way.
it's just you.
Yeah.
And it could be a Saturday or Sunday with football on.
Right. Like the one we go to, there might be like a maple bar, but it's got a bite out of it. You know, but it's still in the...
They put it back, and they did grab it with the tongs.
I don't want this one. This is not good.
I've been into it. My dentures, not my teeth. You're okay.
All right, so we all know about Britney Spears, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a new documentary coming out about Britney Spears, and it's called Framing Britney Spears. Everybody's been talking about it. I guess it's already out. So here's the deal. Britney did have a bad, she kind of, I don't want to say lost her mind, because I don't think that's fair, but she was going through a tough time. She was also...
young.
Yes. Right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny now that this stuff's coming out, people are like, why was everybody so mean to Britney?
We all were. Everybody was. Everyone was in on it, man.
Right. But, like, the Diane Sawyer stuff's just kind of another level. Because she's, like, a serious interviewer, and it's just like, do you well, what are you doing to these kids? And they watch you. And Britney's like, it's not my job to raise your kids.
Right.
You know what I mean? And look, I'm with you. I mean, we all crack jokes on her. So I got Ferguson's point, too. There's a thing going on.
I'm not justifying it. I'm saying we all did it because she was just such an everyday name. And looking back, you're like, right, this is a woman that needed help.
Right, but the Diane Sawyer stuff, I listened to this, I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot how harsh that was.
It is, and it's a slippery slope, because you might become a role model, but unless that's your goal, it's this unfair thing that people put on you. Hey, and it's like, right, man, I'm just here to sing really terrible music. People are looking up to me, that's great, but I'm still going to behave the way I behave, right?
Right, and I mean, I think obviously it helped Miley Cyrus out. Now, the Miley Cyrus I liked was when she was going crazy and smoking all the time and, bangers. That was a good album in my mind. But that Miley she didn't seem as crazy.
She owned it.
It's a Disney star, that this and that.
You're also going from a kid to being an adult at that age.
Right, and she had kids.
And I don't feel like I was an adult. Well, maybe I was like 30.
At best.
I'm still running like I'm 18, 28 years old.
Yeah. So here's the other deal, is that also it kind of brings up my guy Timberlake. It's basically Diane Sawyer basically blames Britney in this interview and says, you broke his heart. You did something that caused him so much pain, so much suffering. Why did you do that? Now, the story was always that Britney Spears had cheated on. We don't know that, right? Timberlake puts it in a video or whatever. So now some Britney fans are going after Timberlake and stuff. And I like that, somebody close to Britney was like, hey, she doesn't really care about that anymore.
It's past.
Right, it's not a big deal. We can let it go. But it's just kind of crazy how that stuff stays around. I mean, look, I was much more attracted to Britney. I like Timberlake's music better.
Sure. Everyone was attracted to Britney. That's why she could put out such terrible music and still, and that's not an insult, but you're good looking. The music's stupid. I mean, it's not even good for pop, right? It's just bad music, but you are who you are. You sell the image, and good for you.
Yeah.
But yeah,
there's all kinds of... Timberlake's kid, too. And the main guy at the time who's handling all this stuff is a pedophile.
Right.
You know, I mean, he is. He's one of those guys. Like, he's the main guy. Not that he managed their band, but...
Well, in sync.
Yeah, but he's a part of that whole mission. So, like... And you go back and you think about your early relationships with people. Like, yeah, you do dumb, immature stuff because you're not really an adult. This is a kind of a... You know what I mean?
Yeah, look... we used to get on Bieber all the time, too, right? And it's one of these things like, look, you're a very young person, right? Old teens, young 20s. The only difference between me and them is the amount of money. Yeah. But as far as getting blackout drunk, saying stupid things, getting arrested, all this crap that goes along with it, like if there's an age to do it, that's roughly the age, right? But if you gave me $10 million, I would have been significantly worse.
Yeah,
that's all. And in fact, they're almost amateur by comparison. That's the thing. Like, don't get on them about this. And yes, I did it at the time. But now, looking back, I'm like, if I had their money, man, they ain't doing a goddamn thing.
But I think part of this, too, again, it's just like the interviews and stuff with the Diane Sawyer. It just, it seemed very serious.
She got
whereas,
attacked.
like, there's other bands and other people that age that were doing stuff. I mean, right, bands did crazy stuff all the time. But they never really got the same, like, attacks that Britney did.
Because rock and roll, you can do what you want because rock and roll established itself from the jump that we're not role model. We get drunk, we have sex, right? So you can agree with it, not agree with it, but when you start that way and the entire genre's looked at that way, right, you can get away with all this stuff. There's all the stuff with Zeppelin, Van Halen. I don't know, and this is the thing I always go back to, like whether you're Diane Sawyer or anyone, like why would you think that Britney Spears or Lindsay Lohan or the Kardashians, like, they're relevant because they're popular, but what important thing would you have them do? I wouldn't ask these people to babysit. Like, and that's not an insult to them, but I'm like, they're freaking dumb kids with a whole lot of money. What do you expect from these people?
But if you're a rock band, the audience is going to be a little bit different than say, a pop artist who is appealing to a 9-year-old girl. So when they're you know, and I think that's where they were more hard on her.
But that's not necessarily.
Because like, what are you the young women of the world going to do when you're up there kissing Madonna or, you know, the MTV Awards?
But again,
whatever.
Your goal is to be popular or famous or whatever. Who your audience ends up being, you have no control over. Your audience is who your audience is, right? Obviously with pop, because pop's less offensive, it's just styrofoam, it's easy to listen to, so kids get into it. I get it. But like, when I was growing up, KISS was the band. And I was 7, 8, 9 years old when I loved them. And they talked about getting laid and they're dribbling blood and all this. But because they're a rock, even though kids are what elevated KISS to their success, it was just different because it's rock. So if you say you're pop, you're held to this weird standard where you're supposed to be.
Sometimes, too, people need to be... It's hard in everybody's life, and people do it in personal lives, too. Like, just because you knew somebody when they were younger, they're not the same damn age.
No.
It's like the big joke you guys always tell about, what's his crazy-ass Shatner, right? Wasn't that like a famous line, like, I'm T.J. Hooker now?
Yeah, I'm T.J. Hooker
like,
now.
but people get stuck, and they just want people to play these certain roles. I mean, you see it in families, you see it in friendships all the time.
Was Britney not one of the Disney...
She was in the Mickey Mouse Club.
The Mickey Mouse Club.
But she was, you know, like Miley and Lindsay Lohan were like child actors.
Yeah, they had their own thing.
Right. Miley's was more of like, I think she was telling like girls, like, this isn't for you anymore. Hannah Montana's gone.
Well, apparently the documentary is good enough to bring up all this conversation.
Oh, I'm going to watch it.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be great.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, thank you, Ted.
Watch the Night Mouse.
You are listening to Men's Room.
New on Curiosity Stream, she was a loving wife, a devoted mother. She also stole atomic secrets and gave them to the Soviets. Meet the woman whose deception kick-started the Cold War on the spy who stole the atom bomb. And
what if they catch you?
Then I shall be shot.
They're coming! Come back!
relive history's most death-defying escapes. It's Impossible Escapes, Civil War. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Oh, fiddlesticks! What, Wilbur? We just got hit and I think my back is all been out of shape.
You gotta talk with those whippersnappers at the Advocates Law Firm. They're the best injury lawyers around.
What? Pipe down, Clarence! Abner's telling me about the lawyers and the advocates. So what happened to you, Abner?
I was walking across the street with the light when some young punk came screeching around the corner. I lost a toe.
What? Shut it, Clarence! If you get injured, the advocates get results.
AdvocatesLaw.com.
The men's room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. We head down under where a 6-car pileup ends with a koala bear behind the wheel. To England, where a 12-year-old boy ends up in the hospital after swallowing 54 magnets that he thought was a meal. Florida man throws rock through a window at Wendy's because they stopped serving Cinnabon rolls. We head to Wisconsin, where making snow out of beer was one of their goals. And New York corrections officer finds a weapon on an inmate that he hid in his nostril. It is time for your headline.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my car.
All right, top story, we go down under, where motorists dealt with a 6-car pileup. Someone driving down the highway noticed a very Australian sight of a koala scurrying across the road. They stopped and attempted to collect the animal, which caused a car to hit them from behind, and another, a chain reaction that damaged 6 cars, causing some minor injuries. But the animal is unharmed at the local koala rescue.
That's why, and I have it printed on a T-shirt, if you see a koala driving, just leave it alone.
Right. Don't worry, they'll be fine.
Let the koala drive. Let Russell Cook let the koala drive.
Right, he knows what he's doing.
He knows where he's going.
He does.
Keep in mind, the koala didn't cause the accident.
Right.
That's the irony of all of this.
Exactly. He didn't get chlamydia because he didn't know how to meet up with somebody.
Oh, he was driving to get,
In other news, it's that lovely time again where an obituary has made the headlines. Doggone it. This time we recognize a woman from Nova Scotia by the name of Margaret Marilyn DeAtter. The obituary starts, quote, Margaret Marilyn DeAtter, professional clipper of coupons, baker of cookies, terror behind the wheel, champion of the underdog, ruthless card player, and self-described queen bitch, died on Tuesday. Goes on to say that she excelled at, quote, giving the finger, taking no S, and laughing at jokes, preferably in the shade of blue. And mentions that her hobbies were, quote, painting, quilting, baking, gardening, hiking, and arson.
And arson.
I feel like this is the kind of lady, like, she only drinks at places that have pool tables.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong there. That still
I mean, my kind of bars, too. I'm just saying, like,
still has some form of vending machine for cigarettes.
Yeah. But she's not going to the new boutique cocktail bar.
No, there's no way.
No. When the bar sells the building, they have to condemn it so that they can just build something else on there just because that place is wrecked.
Yeah, I like it. And she obviously was a cool enough person that her family felt fine putting queen bitch in the obituary.
Absolutely.
Well, that was self-proclaimed.
Right.
Apparently she enjoyed tea and toast while also enjoying reheated tea and toast. Sure. Apparently she started a fire or two, or rather set the smoke alarms off while reheating her tea from time to time, so that's where the arson comes in.
Ah, okay.
Sounds like a cool gal. A Florida man has just been sentenced after an issue with Wendy's. After a passerby saw him commit his crime of repeatedly throwing a rock at the window of the fast food chain, and when asked why he was doing what he was doing, he said it was because, quote, they don't sell Cinnabons anymore. He was since arrested and sentenced to 4 years of probation.
So much to tell him to go to Cinnabon.
Yeah. Right. Go to the mall, dude.
I mean, get it
You
together.
can stop at Panda Express. You can get an Annie's pretzel. So much.
There you go. When did Wendy's do Cinnabon?
That was news
just
to me.
unveiled their breakfast.
Okay.
So I don't know if that was part of it.
There's a cinnamon roll, and there is a honey chicken biscuit sandwich and one other thing. I can't remember what that is.
Well, all right then.
So maybe they just ran out,
Right. Or they discontinued it, maybe. I don't know. Down in California, an LA officer has some explaining to do. As the report goes, the officer went to a local dealership visibly interested in one of their pickup trucks. After taking a look at the truck, he asked the dealer for a printed Carfax on the truck. The dealer went inside to get it, but says that he heard the hood of the truck close before he even got to his office. Looking back out the window, he saw the officer making his way into the truck before taking off. Afterwards, he waited a short time and used the ID of another officer to call in and declare that the truck had been recovered. He continued to drive the truck for more than a year before he was caught and now faces felony charges.
Damn, man.
Right?
The cop stole the truck.
Right, and then knew exactly, I'm just going to call up Rick and just use, Jerry's ID. Just say, nope, we got it all taken care of. We're good to go. It's over for a year. And that is it for your headlines with that. Mike Hawk is out.
Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time for the return of Who Sucks Less. The lovely Taryn Daly is up next and continues our 50th anniversary week here on The Rock.
Yes, indeed. It is all true. But in the meantime, well, we be all up out this bitch. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.